given the, well, let's call it difficulties Herpa has these days in actually releasing new models, I thought why not take a look at my rather extensive collection and try to find some of these gems that just never got around to review. And one of these is this model. With that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A319-100 of British Airways. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and underneath that we find the British Airways branding. On the back side of the box we then have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life. We're provided with the original dimensions as well as some additional information, and we can see it is a limited edition. So that's it for the box. Let's take a closer look inside and at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Airbus A319-100 in the standard livery of British Airways. This aircraft model was originally produced from Herpa Wings in the year 2012, and yet I am convinced that this aircraft model has many advantages over any current releases from Herpa Wings. But to prove that point, let's take a closer look at the model itself to see what it actually has to offer. And so we start our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the British Airways branding. On top of that we have the last two letters of the registration code. On the fuselage we then find the logo of the British Royal Mail and the full registration code. And towards the very tail of the aircraft we do also have some lovely detailing around the APU exhaust. Then at the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we have the British Airways branding, and next to the cabin door we have a One World logo, of which British Airways is a member. The cockpit section itself, well, it doesn't have too many printed details other than the cockpit windows with the window wipers, and above that we find the last three letters of the registration code. I do, however, think that the mold Herpa has used for this aircraft model is excellent. It really does make a huge difference compared to more recent releases. Then the engine nacelles, they have been kept in the dark blue color that we also find on the belly of the aircraft, and here we have the silver leading edge, but unfortunately no other printed details. However, the physical detailing of these engines is actually rather good in my opinion. On the fuselage, just above the wings, we then find the emergency exit printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at, starting off with the top side, where we can see the different flaps, slats and spoilers have been carved out, although that could be more pronounced. But we do have some different shades of grey for additional detailing, and also the marking for the emergency exit. The underside of the wing, when it comes to physical detailing, the same story as with the top side, but here we also have the full registration code of the aircraft printed on once again. And then the wings of course also have the wingtip fences. They might not be as pronounced as with more recent releases, but I still think this looks rather decent. The landing gear is the standard landing gear that Herpa used for all the Airbus A320 family aircraft models at the time, and the biggest difference here is actually the front landing gear. Now in even earlier releases the landing gear was even more realistic than what we see here, but this is actually my favorite front landing gear from Herpa Wings, because I think it's the best compromise between detailing and just being sturdy. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A319-100 in the standard livery of British Airways from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, to be honest, for me this aircraft model really resembles peak Herpa. So the best Herpa has been doing over the last 10, 20, 30 years. Just to avoid any misunderstandings, I'm not saying that this is the best Herpa model ever made, not at all, but it is just an example of a very good Herpa standard model. Again, it doesn't mean that there couldn't be more details in the print. It would be lovely if there had been more printed details, but everything Herpa has done with this aircraft model, they have done well. The landing gear looks great, the engines look great, the wings look great, the mold is very good, and the print quality, well, the details they have added, they have done so very well. And that is why I without hesitation would say that this model, or any model from that generation, is absolutely worth having in one's collection. Now with that we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe, that would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.